January 2nd, First Friday. So thrilled to see all good friends here and some new people too, which is great to see. So we are all here because we are part of the same community of people who are passionate about team effectiveness. And please go on the portal. This is how you get to the portal. It's corentus.disco.co. And you could see all the events that are open to the community. There's quite a bit of interchange between people, sharing IP, sharing ideas, sharing client cases, anonymously though. And a new program we have on the portal is the Team Tools cohort. So this is an additional membership. The regular community is free. This is $45 a month until the end of this weekend, and then it goes to $145 a month for a number of reasons. One, we'd like to keep this cohort smaller, and we already have a number of people who have already signed up. So thank you for those who have signed up. It's a great cohort so far. There's quite a bit of Corentus IP team tools on there, and there's more to come. And we have 2 live roundtable sessions a month, which are great, engaging, and fun, and very informative. And with that, I bring you Alexander and Chris Wahl to be our thought leaders for today.
Thank you, Janice.
Yes.
Uh, just before we jump in, we are going to do something a little different today. The typical format, at least through 2025 and before, has been to bring a thought leader to the meeting and have that thought leader share ideas, insights, and concepts, models, theories, and then have a Q&A. Today, we're going to shift and we're going to engage all of you in a conversation. And we're going to exchange with each other because we feel it's the beginning of the year and we really want to have a conversation versus just another thought leader. We're going to be experimenting with a variety of formats this year with First Friday. So here's our first little experimentation. But before we jump in, I want to give Chris an opportunity to introduce herself. Most of you know me. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Corentus. Been with a lot of you for many, many years. But Chris, would you like to say a few words about yourself, my friend?
Yes. So some of you do know me. I've worked with Alexander since the year 2001, which makes it almost 25 years, right?
Yes.
And I brought Alexander into the Georgetown coaching program, which I created back in 1999. But since I left Georgetown, I still teach at Georgetown. But what I've done since I left that coaching program is I've dived into Carl Jung's work, and I've dived into the whole series of stages of adult development, which I've been doing for a long time now. And so I am a certified scorer for the assessment, the MAP assessment. And I do workshops on stages of development. And I also do workshops on poetry because I have loved poetry since forever. And I have found that it really is a quite a nice portal into a good conversation with a client. So that's what I'm up to right now is poetry and adult development and Carl Jung, which is lifelong, by the way. I will never, ever get to the end of Carl Jung. So, you know, it's it's opened me to so many new things, and I love it. So that's it.
Okay.
And I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy you're here. Yeah, Chris and I have worked since 2001. We taught, I think it's 62 cohorts together on a teams and systems coaching course at Georgetown, side by side. And well, I did it first alone, and then you joined me, Chris, if
That's right.
that's correct, right?
Mhm.
But it's great to be with you again today, especially starting this new year, my friend.
Thank you. I'm excited for this new year.
Yeah.
I am.
So we're really curious about all of you in this new year. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you 3 questions. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to show each question. Janice will flash the question. For the first question, we're going to ask you to journal for a few minutes your answer to the question, and then we're going to open it up to you sharing your responses. For the second question, we're going to put you into paired breakouts where you can answer together and talk with each other, get to know each other, come back and discuss. Then the third question, we're going to put you in little triads and do the same thing with that third question, come back and discuss. So it's basically question, journal, discuss, question, paired breakouts, discuss, question, triad breakouts, discuss. And then we'll have a final closing question, which will be easy to answer. Does that sound good to everyone? So you're engaged today. We're all together in this and we're really curious. So let's dive in. Janice, first question, please. And pull out something to write with, or if you prefer to type. We're going to give you a few minutes to answer this question. So here's the question that Chris and I thought of that we like to start with, and it goes something like this. What key themes emerged for you in 2025 that you want to pay attention to? What key themes for you as a leader, as a practitioner, as a coach, as a consultant, as a manager, as whoever you are, what key themes emerged for you? What still feels important for you or unfinished for you from 2025? What is still there for you from 2025 that you feel is important or unfinished that needs to be completed? Chris, anything else you want to add to the question formulation?
No, I think they're perfect questions. You can take them where you want in your journal.
Answer it as thoughtfully as you can. Take your time. We can't hear from everyone because we still have 2 questions to process, but we can hear from a few people. So we'd love for a couple of brave souls just to speak it, come off mute and share. And let's share in a more condensed version so we get more opportunities to hear from more people. But what's showing up for people?
Wally, do you want to speak to this?
Sure, thank you. Yes, it's been nearly 25 years since I've been in the company of Alexander and Chris back in 2001. It's great to be here. It's great to be here with a great group of people. Looking forward to this learning opportunity. I was working with Carol Pearson at the same time I was working with Chris and Alexander. And she was facilitating the program. At that time, it was named Transformational Leadership, which was Carl Jung's work.
Yes.
So I've been a student of Carol's ever since, and have shared this wonderful gift of archetypes.
Yeah.
If we're talking about archetypes in leadership development or archetypes in the nursing industry or archetypes in government, in politics, I have found it to be very useful and effective. But for the last couple of decades, I've been sharing it in Africa and in Asia, countries like Vietnam, Malaysia, Pakistan, and in West Africa, Ghana, Liberia, and Burkina Faso, which is where I'm currently located. The second part of my theme is we live a life of stories. I know I had major breakthroughs in working with Alexander and Chris on a story that I had been living unconsciously. Today we call that being stuck. And what I learned from that profound experience and ongoingly, change your story, change your life.
Nice.
And archetypes is one of the innovative instruments that we can use to do that.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Thank you for allowing me to share.
Yeah. Thank you. All right.
Natalie?
Sure. I was saying 2 things. As extroverted as I am, I have a tendency to not to hold back getting involved in my work communities, my professional communities, such as, in coaching and mediation and all of that. So I've really learned this last year, the importance of engagement and connection in that, and the difference it makes for me, as well as for my clients and my work colleagues. As well as I'm coming to realize in the last couple of weeks, I have not processed our move, our whirlwind move from February, deciding to move from Northern Virginia to Williamsburg. We moved in July, and there's been a lot of goodbyes and new hellos, but it really is a very life-changing move. And I need to sit down and really process it and handle it. And there's some people I have not really closed loops with on that I need to do. So that's what I carry forward.
Well, I love that because I don't think anything finishes just because the year changes.
Right. Great, thank you. Yeah.
Mishika.
Yes, so in 2024, one of the coaching companies stopped sending me clients. So this is kind of everyday stuff, but I need to shift from being a receiver to a generator in many aspects of my life. So I made some step forward, but I'm not there yet. So I try to be a little bit more active and engaged in my own purpose. And hopefully that will, impact not just me, but my client and the community in a positive way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Great.
There are some nice shares in the chat. I'm looking at, there's quite a few here. So Tosca, more focus on being, less on doing, and less on achieving. Thank you, Tosca. Charmin, simplification, claiming my journey and experience more comfortably, deepening my being, seeing things more, appreciation, peace, courage in a more relaxed way. That's a beautiful statement.
Mhm.
There's Natalie, there's Grace, reimagining human community, building in the place of decision, isolation, and surge of AI. Janice, community, unfinished, physical space, in-person community gatherings. And there are more here to be read. So please read.
Yeah. It's important to save the chat.
Yeah.
Very good stuff here. Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to move into question number 2. And let's show that one, Janice. And we're going to put you in pairs. So here's the question. So based on your observations about 2025, what are you hoping for in 2026? Now, some of you have already answered that through question 1, but think about it a little more deeply. And what do you want to bring consciously with you in the new year? And why does it matter now for you?
So, how did you do in your paired conversation? What showed up for you in
Yeah.
terms of what you need, and maybe the support you need for going into whatever this next is? What came up? What do you want to share? You can put it in chat, but we'd also like to hear your voice.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your
This
voice.
is Natalie. I'm good. I know you are surprised I would speak, Alexander. I had a lovely conversation with Paul. This is what I need. Just the continuing connection with community, and of more like-minded people we want to put courage and kindness and generosity out in the world and support one another.
So did you come up with a way to get that for yourself,
We
Natalie?
didn't get that far, but we could have kept talking, I think, for a long time though.
Well, that's a clue right there. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Someone else.
Deborah.
Well, I'm glad I made it to this call. I did a really fun thing this past year. I spent 3 weeks traveling with a client in Europe, doing a European experience, and it brought together so many threads of my work to date. And I'm putting that at the age of 70, having turned 70 this past year as well. I'm building out a new piece of my business that feels like it's a piece that has been there for a long time, just waiting to be recognized. So that question of support, the fun of exploring something new that is so familiar. Yeah, it's going to be fun to play with that this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
I love that you brought this up because the whole idea, our culture around age is really abominable. And the idea that we continue to emerge, to be creative, the more that we listen in, the more we're not going to be stopped by what someone thinks about what somebody our age should be doing. So go for it, girl.
I am.
Yeah,
Fun.
wonderful. Yeah.
I'd really echo that. I may be the oldest person on the call. I'm not sure at 77, but I'm in probably my fourth career, and
Uh-huh.
I don't see myself finishing. In fact, I was thinking a lot about this last night. What's the next 5 years look like? And as I decelerate my active personal involvement in my business, how do I hand it off to others? But how do I also continue to write and keep my brain engaged?
Totally.
And yeah, and that's exciting. Just the curiosity factor of not losing that. Looking at the next decade.
That's wonderful, Jerry. We're going to stay tuned and see what comes up for you.
Yep.
There's the old definition of old is your age plus 15. If you're 20,
Yes.
30,
Right.
if you're 20, 35 seems kind of old. If you're 50, 65 is, oh my God.
Right.
And I remember being 60 and thinking 75 is just ancient. Why is anybody still active professionally at 75? Well,
Yeah.
now I know. Now I know.
That's good. Yeah,
Great.
that whole idea of letting go of what no longer serves and opening to the creative process is wonderful.
So all this conversation is like I'm nodding vigorously inside my head. And um, so the great conversation with Peter in our breakout room. Um, and that's why actually I come to this kind of sessions and I'm feeling like, oh my God, it's so fortunate to be here on the second day of the year and having this conversation. And I actually wrote Courage More Relaxed Way because I am talking about a book that I'm working on that I put a pause in 2024, and I'm bringing that to life and committing my energy. And just this 5 minutes talk with Peter actually boosted that energy.
Yeah.
The way he rephrased the way he sees my description. I'm like, wow, what a dose of inspiration at the beginning of the year. So yeah,
That's
that's
beautiful.
my appreciation for this
Yeah.
group today.
And another nod for talking to another coach, right? Coaches can do that in magical 5 minutes. Great. I think it's great. And I think that last question on the slide, why does it matter now, is a really good one to think about, because I don't have the poem handy, but there's a good poem by oh God, it's called The Way It Is. Anyway, it's William Stafford, and he talks about the thread that runs through our lives, and the thread is always there. And that's why I think that why does it matter now piece is important to, sort of try and sort of hone back into what are the threads of my life that keep me in vitality and that keep me engaged, that keep me open to new ideas, and keep me sort of being the light worker that I think all of us are. So have at it.
I'll share one
Okay.
that I'm noticing about 2025, which was for me a year of recuperation and getting back into the swing of things after several years of slowing down and being absent. And I started to really play around with how am I working? What are my work habits? And I noticed that I was always multitasking, running too many things at once, being distracted. Um, and I started to think about work and life as being really intermingled, whereby if I focused on something for 60, 90 minutes deeply and did that and just that, I could then really focus and do deep work and then take a break, like even take a nap, and then apply myself to something else deeper. And to really do it that way was both invigorating, relaxing, and produced really good quality in a relaxed manner. And so it took taking my life and saying, it's a way of looking at how to approach my profession in a way that isn't frantic, multitasking and all over the place, jumping around everywhere, but really doing more serial depth work. And it worked. And I'm taking that into 2026 for sure. And it matters now because I am getting older and my energy is something to be managed. And it's going to take something to not burn myself out again.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I
Good.
did.
That's great, Alex.
Thanks.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, if you have other things to share, you can put them in the chat. But in the meantime, we're going to move on to our third set of questions.
All right. So here's our final set. And here's what it is. And we really love to hear from you. What support do you need? Love to hear what support you need. And what do you wish to offer this community? So needs and offers has become a very central theme at Corentus in the work we do with our clients. What will help guide you into your quote next? And what is one thing you want to hold for yourself as guide? We'd love to hear needs and offers, what you need, where you're at, and just feel to jump off mute and just speak. Let's hear from as many people as we can. Anybody?
I'll jump in.
Please, Deb.
Well, because I do have a specific ask actually for the community and an offer for the community. The ask is that I'm thinking about putting together a case study of what I did with my client and trying to present it at the Converge conference in Paris in May. And so if anyone knows the people that are organizing that conference and can help me connect with them, that would be a really big help. And I'd love to offer that case study if people are interested to this group. Janice, Alexander, you guys tell me whether you think that fits with what you guys are doing. But because the last thing about what I want to hold for myself as a guide is what I shared with Tosca in our small group is this came completely as a surprise to me, and it tapped on wisdom in myself that once I saw it, it was like, of course, that's always been there. I think all of us have wisdom in ourselves that we don't necessarily recognize.
Yeah.
Offering that lens is what I want to help bring to this community.
I love that. And I want to just expand on it temporarily here, is that I have done not 3 weeks with clients, but I've done a week away with a client at a place of their choice. And every time it is life-changing, not just for them, but also for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deb.
Jonathan.
I'll start with an offer, which is I think one of my recent interests in soapboxes has been helping coaching to be less focused on behavior and broadening it to why the behavior.
Right.
And we had a discussion about that in our triad. And it also ties into my work in coaching supervision as a developmental task, as a way of exploration. So as we develop as coaches and as a field, making room for more of the human experience and why, I think, is important, and an offer I'll help anybody with. And then what I would like help with is, I think there is this niche of dyadic coaching two people who are in conflict.
Yes.
That is an interest of mine as somebody who's also a couples therapist. And it seems like it's something that isn't on people's radar. So I'm trying to figure out how to market this and do more of it, because I think often people don't know what to do when there are two people in an organization who are in conflict and need to collaborate. And so trying to figure that out. So could use any help.
Natalie.
Jonathan, no, Alexander, no, Jonathan, this is Natalie. I would love to have conversations with you on that. I'm a mediator and I'm an ombuds, and I am doing coaching with people. I need to learn so much more about it. I'm a coach, but coaching people in conflict is a whole other thing. And I would love to be in conversation with you about that.
Add me to that.
Okay,
I'm all in on that,
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Yeah, we can start a thing and explore it together. I would love to do that with you.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and I would ask you, Jonathan, if you could, to maybe write a short white paper on the why of the behavior, which is so perfect because behavioral works only to a certain extent. You got to look at what's the thinking behind it and the feeling.
Just a suggestion that'd make a great First Friday theme.
Well, we are redoing Thinking Path right now. So we can get that done. We'll share it with the community, the Team Tools cohort, and then really think about a First Friday for it. That's great. Thank you. Good idea.
Other thoughts for yourself?
I have one, which is I would love to have a conversation with anybody who's interested in the whole idea about healing.
Oh.
Healing. Something that I've done a lot of over the past 4 years for myself, and something that I feel is right for me to start doing now. But I am a neophyte in the delivery of such work. So if there's anybody interested in having a conversation or engaging, I would love healing as a practice with teams and groups. I'd be interested. So I saw Deb, your hand went up. Jonathan, your hand went up. Okay.
Me too.
And
I
Alex,
find, that sometimes it's kind of we are walking when it comes to healing on the border of therapy and coaching, and I always love to expand there. I did a lot of therapy studies this year, although I'm not a therapist. Did IFS and start to bring this part work into teams and individuals. It's fascinating, actually, and to cross the line of our profession into that area, because there's a lot of overlapping there that need to be explored.
Yeah. And you know what? There's a lot I shouldn't say a lot, but there are books now coming out with trauma in the title for coaches. And I don't know, I think most coaches are not really ready to deal with capital T trauma, but there's a lot that you can do from the coaching seat that helps people to heal.
Yeah.
Amy Fox will be once again, will grace us with her presence in March with her new book, Leading Through Chaos. And she's a strong worker in the field of healing and trauma. So that'll be the March. The March First Friday. We'll have her back again for her new book.
That's great.
All right, we are at time. So just I wrote down Dave, Peter, Jonathan, Chris, and Deb on that. Did I get that right? And Wally.
And if
Okay.
something
And
if
Natalie.
something comes, and Natalie, right? And if something comes to you afterwards, if you didn't think
Yeah.
of it now, you know where to get in touch. Yeah.
So here's we like to end. We're going to ask each person to think about a word, one significant word that you want to bring into 2026. Any word at all. Doesn't have to be a verb or a noun or an adjective or anything, but a word that is your word, at least standing here on January 2nd. What is the word you want to bring into the new year? And everybody just write one. That way we land it for ourselves. And let's see what we have. Light, kindness,
Yeah, make
energy.
sure you give it a whole page in your journal so you can remember it all year long.
Chris, what a joy to be with you today.
Thank you. I love this kind of work. And
I know you do.
it's great to be with you.
your wisdom is always the wisdom just comes through you
Mm,
and out of you always. It's just a joy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, so much. Your presence in the beginning of this year is super important for me. I just want to let you know that the calmness you bring, the energy you hold and share makes a huge difference. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for reaching out to one another. For those who know our operating modes, we do not want this to be leader directed. We would like everyone to engage with everybody else and not just wait for Alexander, me, or anybody else at Corentus to take the lead. Please feel free to reach out to one another, whether it's on the community platform or directly with permission with people's email addresses. But please reach out. We're here for one another.
Great.
Yeah.
And Janice, is it okay if I read the poem that Deirdre shared in the chat?
Yes.
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 Okay. This is
Yes.
this is a William Stafford poem. And I think it's just beautiful. There's a thread you follow. It goes among things that change, but it doesn't change. People wonder about what you're pursuing. You have to explain the thread, but it's hard for others to see. While you hold it, you can't get lost. Tragedies happen, people get hurt or die, and you suffer and get old. Nothing you can do can stop time's unfolding. You don't ever let go of the thread. So hold your thread. Have a great year.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.